My mom was born in 1957, which means today she's 58 years old. A lot of the times me and my mom have a lot of conversations about, how she lived when she was younger and the different types of things that happened in her life that are way different now because of technological advances. One time she told me a story about when she was younger and how the telephone systems used to work back then. They all had cords, there was no wireless anything ever. Back then the TVs were still black and white. She didn't have calculators, she didn't have internet, they didn't have the access to the things that we do today. She told me that the telephone lines that they used were called party lines. And basically that means that whoever you shared the party line with could pick up the phone and listen to your conversation. There was no such thing as different lines. Everybody had to just be patient and basically wait their turn to use the phone. She said that the party line when she was growing up was between her house and the next door neighbor's house, which happened to be her grandmother's house. So they all as a family, they shared a telephone line. But she said that a lot of the times when she was younger, she didn't really have access to the phone because the kids didn't really use the phone. She said that whenever she needed to go see her friend or wanted to hang out, she just rode her bike down the street so that she could see them. In today's society, we essentially have everything at our fingertips by the touch of a button. In this little device, we can have access to food at our doorstep in the next 30 minutes because we can, order online and have it delivered to us, which is amazing. We use social media platforms to communicate and interact with the world around us when really we should be interacting with each other face to face. We should be having bonds with each other that are more meaningful than just through the screen of a telephone. Social media has become a huge issue in our generation's personal and professional lives due to the fact that we have lost sight of how to interact with people in an intimate way, as well as how to connect with the physical world around us. We should take this issue into consideration because the quickness of our technology has made us aggressive individuals. It's made us impatient and disconnected with the things around us. I am personally guilty of, abusing my social media and my internet, just becoming so, immersed in it. I don't even think about things that are actually happening in the real world. I've just, read the news and said, oh, I know about that, but I don't really know because I'm not experiencing it. I'm not experiencing it myself. So I personally have been, guilty of doing this. First, I will tell you about the problem that social media and the internet has caused and created. Second, I will tell you about what caused social media to be a problem. And third, I will tell you what we can do to prevent it. So first, I will start with how social media and why internet is a concern. Basically, we place too much emphasis on the virtual interactions and rather than interacting with the world around us, like I said before. This causes us to hinder our relationships. We don't have the intimacy that, people back in the day, like my mom, used to have. According to eMarketer report accessed on November 30th, 2015, by 2017, the global social network audience will total to 2.5 billion. This is important because essentially there's around 3 billion people in the world, and this means that almost everybody is using social media platforms and will by 2017. Anyone who uses social media or the internet or has access to it is impacted by it. According to Forbes and Susan Taranico, accessed on November 30th, 2015, studies show that only 7% of communication is based on written or verbal contact. A whopping 93% is based on nonverbal body language, which essentially means, that relates to us using our text messaging and our Facebook profiles and our emails just to communicate. Secondly, I will tell you what caused social media and the internet to become a problem in the first place. So when the invention of the internet came around, that created a whole new world, a virtual world for us. The more that our technology progresses, the more that we become immersed in social media. Social media has caused problems such as cyberbullying. There's so many cases of cyberbullying out there, and it's caused an unnecessary amount of negative impacts, although there are positive impacts as well. Social media has affected the social, emotional, and mental aspects of many people's lives all around the world. I took a Survey Monkey with some of the classmates that I have, and it's based on the social, what people think about social media in our generation. 50% of people responded that they think social media affects our relationships, with another at a large amount, and the other 50% said that social media affects our lives somewhat. Third, I will tell you what we can do to prevent the abuse of social media and the internet. So when Facebook was created, it was initially meant for college students, just as a networking opportunity, and it was not meant for just the whole entire world. It was not meant for younger kids. But nowadays, there's a lot of people out there, and even younger kids, people that are in elementary school using Facebook, and it's giving them a huge access to information that half the time they don't even really need to know at that age. Internationally, countries should monitor and initiate laws to help prevent certain things and appealing to certain age groups on the internet. Nationally, our nation should do the same thing. We should create laws and monitor, how people are getting onto the internet and what's actually on the internet. For instance, if I can just unlock my phone, I have access to a world of just negative information that is not useful to my life. It's just unnecessary. Intermediately, I believe that parents need to take action in their children's lives, and even, social media is okay, but when kids are younger, maybe they should be, I believe that they should be monitored. I don't think that kids should have Facebook profiles, and so parents and ourselves, we should take our limit the things that we do on social media so that we can have more meaningful relationships with the people around us. Now I will conclude my speech. I have discussed with you how social media and the internet has become a distraction and an issue in our society and our generation, specifically. Social media has affected our generation's personal and professional lives due to the fact that we have lost sight on how to interact with other people. I have told you why social media is a problem, what created the problem, and what we can do to prevent the abuse of social media. Although social media has its benefits, it also has its cons. I believe that it is vital to encourage everyone to limit what we do on social media and to limit the access that certain, what happens on social media, and we should limit certain age groups as well.